What is going on YouTube? My name is Daylen, and today we have Duskbloods. Hey y'all, I thought that you couldn't show gameplay at all, but it looks like people are showing gameplay. I don't know if this is legal. I don't know if they missed the memo or something, and all these channels are gonna get taken down. But it wouldn't make sense for Nintendo to take all these channels down, though. I don't think so. They probably could win if they, went to court, but I'm a little confused right now. Did they say that you can't show gameplay? Or did they say, or was there like a typo or a mistranslation? I don't know. Hopefully, these people don't get their channels taken down, hopefully, But it looks like a lot of people are showing stuff, which I thought, I actually just looked up on like the internet if you're able to show it, and the internet said, no, you cannot show at all. So I'm a little confused on what's going on. I did see that there was stuff that leaked, and maybe they're like, you know what, because shit got leaked, they might as well, show more and let other people, show gameplay and stuff. But I don't know what's going on, but hopefully people can show gameplay, because why wouldn't you? This is a big, cool event. This is a cool game, it looks like people are saying. It, like, bro, it's like a dream, bro. I'm seeing a lot of positivity, a lot of good stuff from this. A lot of good word from other people. A lot of good word that people are saying about this game. So, anyways, though, let's jump into this. I was just watching this on stream, but let's continue.
Objectives that are rewarded with virtue points.
Oh no, my headphones are unplugged. Hold up. Yeah, I saw people streaming it too. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm a little confused, but
tasked with a series of free-form objectives that are rewarded with virtue points.
One thing I'm curious about is
split into 4 phases, and as it progresses, players.
I hope, what's it called? The performance is good. I hope the performance is good. I hope it looks good. It's kind of Nintendo Switch 2-ish, Obviously, an upgrade from Nintendo, the original Nintendo Switch, the first one, but it looks not that amazing in graphics.
4 phases, and as it progresses, players with the least amount of virtue are culled until.
But I mean, Souls games aren't really for their graphics.
Only 3 remain. The final 3 are transported to an arena to duke it out for first blood, the mysterious substance that the Bloodsworn are vying for.
Damn, nigga, that's the Goskin chariot, man. Y'all see that? Y'all already saw him. Yeah,
as you explore the map and complete objectives, you may run into other players. However, intentionally killing another player doesn't typically yield any virtue. There are exceptions to this, but focusing solely on PvP might get you cold early on. Instead, you could form a temporary alliance with another player. This gives the friendly player an outer glow and prevents you from accidentally targeting or attacking them while fighting enemies.
Interesting. The fact that he said that means that you could hit your ally. Interesting.
That partnership ends if you and your new friend make it to the final phase.
Or maybe you're just saying, like, it's so you don't hit him when you're fighting. If you build an alliance, I don't know.
So how do you earn virtue? In any given match, there are a handful of goals
he did mention the glow, so
probably the most straightforward of these is to just kill standard enemies, which awards virtue to the players with the highest enemy kill count. Another awards the players who've scooped up the most amount of items. There are more direct ways to earn virtue too. Players can hunt down bosses marked on the map, or seek out purple flame tombs that reward an increasing amount of virtue for each one found. These objectives are less competitive by design. If you initiate a boss fight, every player in the match is notified, and they are given the option to walk directly to you and join the fight. Within these boss arenas, players cannot lock on or attack each other, keeping the focus solely
Yeah, a little
on
freaky
the
with
boss.
this nigga.
If you manage to defeat the boss, the virtue is split among the victors, and those who warped
Yeah, a
there
little
will
freaky
return
with
to
this
their
guy right
last
here.
location.
And he got titties too.
These avenues exist so players aren't boxed into
My fault, it's a
PvP in
female.
order to survive the colon. From Software wants to strike a balance between PvE and PvP mechanics in order to give players options. That said, there are instances where engaging with and killing other players is not only encouraged, but can shake up the leaderboard. At the end of Phase 2 and Phase 3, ritual sites appear on the map. Glowing pillars randomly appear within the specified area, and players compete.
They got rank modes in this.
Claiming and holding onto one of these pillars nets you virtue points, but so does dispatching other players. In one game, I shot up the leaderboard and cinched my spot in the final phase because I abandoned these pillars altogether and killed as many players as I could. Of course, you could just choose to ignore
each session has like a leaderboard type of thing. I wonder how long these sessions are though.
If you did. Phases are quick and matches last roughly 30 minutes, so this time management aspect injects a lot of strategy into
there's going to be different locations.
In any given round, you have
it will
multiple
be pretty
ways
boring
to
have
virtue, but you
the
need
same
to make quick
session
judgments
happen.
on how to best
Hold
spend
on,
your.
sorry, I gotta pause. It will be kind of boring to have like the same session like happening in like one location. You know, it got to be like a very expansive map to like keep this PvE or whatever it is going,
Limited amount of time. After a few matches, I found that killing basic enemies during the first phase was the best use of my time. I'd level up my character, and if I was particularly aggressive, I could claim the award for killing most enemies early on. In Phase 2, I would take down tougher enemies and bosses until a few moments before the ritual sites appeared. After that, I took down as many Bloodsworn as I could. In another round, I spent Phase 2 and 3 looking for the Purple Flame Tombs and barely made it into the final phase.
Okay. I feel like there's definitely going to be maps.
For as many options as there are to make it into that final phase, it always comes down to a clash with other players.
Okay.
From Software did tease that there may be variations on this final phase when the Duskbloods
wonder how the
launches,
gameplay feels.
but for the network test, it all culminates in a nail-biting PvP match between the 3 remaining survivors. In between matches, you return to the House of Night, a hub area.
By the way,
where
what
you
does
can test
PvE
out
mean?
different bloods.
Person, there's PvP, person versus person. PvE, I guess that's person versus enemy. I don't know. I don't know, like
presumably chat with
gaming language
and look over tutorials and lore tidbits. This is where a majority of the Duskbloods story unfolds, but entire wings of the house are locked off in the network test.
Actually,
so
I looked up what RPG means.
What you'll be doing
meant
here.
Role-playing games. I still need to look up what MMO RPGs mean. I don't know what that means. I need to look those stuff up because I don't know what those are. I don't know gaming terms that much.
I won 5 games out of the dozen or so matches that we played, and every time I made it into the final phase, I could feel my heart pounding outside of my chest. Fundamentally, the Duskbloods plays a lot like Elden Ring or Dark Souls, but these are tense duels that almost feel like a 3-dimensional Super Smash Bros.
Is that an actual person? Who's actually playing this guy right here? Niggas got Bob in this game too. They got Bob in Tekken and Bob in Duskbloods. That shit crazy.
Incredibly high. Each are armed with short and long-ranged attacks.
Goskin dual head ass.
Comes down to exploiting attack recovery animations. You can even win by knocking players out of the arena. Zorik, a Bloodsworn fitted with a bulbous suit of armor, has a skill called Human Rocket that lets him fly across the map and crash into enemies. I witnessed one player get knocked off the arena because he wasn't keeping an eye on Zorik. Alongside their bespoke weapons, each Bloodsworn has 2 unique skills tied to a cooldown meter. One is available at the beginning, and the other is unlocked after hitting a certain level within the match. Zork's basic skill is Human Rocket, and his advanced skill lets him fire mortar-like missiles. Albert the Slender...
hold on, y'all. I gotta get my food. I'll be back. Yo, there are actually 3 viewers in my chat. Shouts to y'all. I'll be back though. If I gotta leave, I gotta leave. You know, but hold up. Alright, dusky bloodies, yeah.
Silver-haired fox in the trailer packs a
Silver-haired
sword and a
fox.
machine gun, while his basic skill lets him launch blood projectiles similar to the Reduvia dagger in Elden Ring. Meanwhile, Tranglon has
I don't know what that
shotguns
name
that
is.
can be used as melee weapons or thrown at enemies. Her basic ability lets her turn invisible, and her advanced skill summons a giant white snake.
Mesmer.
There are 6 playable characters in the network test, and each fits into a different playstyle we've
That nigga look like he got a fat belly. Okay. This guy ugly. She looks cool. Just an ugly nigga. An old nigga. And Zork. I might play her just because she looks cool. The other people just don't look cool, bro. I don't know, man. I mean, I guess nah. Albert is cool. Albert's cool. I feel like a lot of people might play Albert. Well, no, this is gonna work.
come to expect from Dark Souls and Elden Ring.
So I'm guessing
Albert
there's
and
only
Tranglon align closer with
probably
dexterity
6
builds,
players
while Zork
in
and his
a
massive
session.
articulating sword is a strength character through and through.
That
Each
boy
character
strong
can be
in
tweaked and
short.
customized, but these options aren't
Short
available
king.
in the network test. The only customization option we could enable were sigils. This is one of the Duskbloods' most fascinating ideas. Upon choosing a Bloodsworn, you can equip them with a sigil that alters their backstory and tasks them with a specific quest during a match. Rival Bloodsworn are assigned with passive sigils based on your sigil and unknowingly play
Wait a minute again. Alright. What that nigga eating, bro?
a role in your quest. For example, one sigil marks
need to eat
another
after this,
player
bro.
as your sworn enemy, and hunting them down will earn you extra virtue. Another one tasks you with tracking down an old friend and forming an alliance with them. One particularly interesting sigil has you find your lost love, who also happens to be another
Damn, a
player,
maiden.
and propose to them.
Yes,
it's not
sir.
the first time a From Software game
That's gonna
has
be
touched
Dylan
on
and
the
Mark
theme of
from RDC.
betrothal, but it's never been done quite like this. This is where the Duskbloods drama
You have
starts
no
to
maiden.
take shape. Inspired by
You are
tabletop
maidenless.
RPGs, these sigils incentivize players to play out specific roles in the middle of a match. In one game, I was marked as someone's sworn enemy. As the match went on, I noticed that one Bloodsworn wouldn't stop following me. Every time I'd
Damn.
stop to clear out enemies or pick up an
What is-
item,
wait.
he'd try to get in a few swings. Considering that PvP is de-emphasized for
Hey, what's a Bloodsworn? Like, you could have used the word player. I'm pretty. I don't know. Hold on. What? A Bloodsworn, huh?
lost love, who also happens to
language
be
is this?
another player, and propose to them. It's not the first time a From Software game has touched on the theme of betrothal, but it's never been done quite like this. This is where the Duskbloods drama starts to take shape. Inspired by tabletop RPGs, these sigils incentivize players to play out specific roles in the middle of a match.
Okay.
In one game, I was marked as someone's sworn enemy. As the match went on, I noticed that one Bloodsworn wouldn't stop following me.
I guess player
Every time I'd stop to clear out enemies or pick up an item, he'd try to get in a few swings. Considering that PvP is de-emphasized for most of the match, I couldn't understand why he was so tenacious.
Stream sniping.
I was marked as his sworn enemy, and I
He knew he was working from GameSpot.
Eventually, he did kill me, but thankfully, there's no penalty from death aside from wasted time. Quote, we wanted to develop a system that creates unexpected drama and excitement alongside role-playing, Miyazaki tells me. While I wasn't able to complete all the sigil quests, the inclusion of these player-specific objectives certainly shakes up matches. One sigil had me play as an inquisitor hunting down heretics. By using a specific emote, a temporary trail would materialize that led me to the Bloodsworn branded as such. It completely shifted my priorities for the rest of the match. According to Miyazaki, the sigils available in the network test are relatively simple, but they will get more complex.
Is there fall damage?
Either way,
Probably
I suspect
not.
these sigils are tied to the Duskblood story and its progression, two aspects that largely remain a mystery right now.
Castles, trains, and diving suits. Oh my!
Despite not knowing what the Duskbloods is about, its tantalizing art direction has me excited to learn more. The gothic aesthetic will certainly drum up comparisons to Bloodborne, but the Duskbloods has its own distinct vision that pulls from different eras and timelines. This is best represented in its cast of Bloodsworn. Each character comes from a different time period and region, but they all fit nicely into that overarching gothic style. Perhaps the biggest outlier is Zork. His bulky suit of armor looks more like a diving suit than the plated cuirasses we've come to expect from Dark Souls, and his helmet features an extendable beak to help him drink blood, almost like a mosquito. Fascinated by his design, I told Miyazaki on how this oddball came to be. Quote, the original design prompt for Zork was a Bloodsworn risen from the sea, though he looks quite different now. I love Ultraman and Ultra 7 specifically featuring monsters rising from the ocean depth, Miyazaki says. As Zork started to take shape, the diving suit evolved into an industrial and steampunk-inspired unit. Despite the wide range of styles and influences, the Duskbloods world feels cohesive.
You just hold him.
These characters are pulled from different eras, but they all come from the same universe that Miyazaki conjured up. However, Miyazaki welcomes a tinge of chaos. The maps are just as diverse as the cast of characters. As Miyazaki cryptically put it, each map takes place at the dusk of humanity as these various worlds are.
I wonder if they're gonna expand it
the theme
as like the game gets you know, closer to development and like, you know, later on in its time span, you know, that is out.
That each map shares is that sense
I want to see more
a theme
than
that
gothic
From
stuff.
Software is no stranger
Personally,
to. But because there is no fixed,
I want to see Greenlands, ice stuff, more fire stuff. I don't know how they're gonna do this.
The team is able to explore a wide array of regions, each with their own style and architecture.
That's what I like to hear.
The only map available in the technical tests is Lowenrose City, which mostly adheres to the well-established vampire mythos: gothic castles, foreboding clock towers, and grimy sewers. According to Miyazaki, there was a reason for this.
He looks like something.
We went with Lowenrose City for the network test because it's very symbolic and matches the aesthetic of vampires. But it's just one era and aesthetic. Some of the maps that will be available in the final game are from completely different eras with completely different overall architectural styles, so there's quite a bit of variety to show multiple different eras of humanity's dusk. Lowenrose City might feel like an obvious location for a vampire game, but it still has that From Software flair. The bosses that roam the world feel plucked out of Miyazaki's worst nightmares.
I've never really
and the
been into like
streets give way to some incredible views and a blood-red moon. What's really surprising about Lowenrose City,
I learned about the Elder Ring story after.
The Bloodsworn are far more agile than the Nightfarers in Elden Ring Night Rain, and the map has been designed around their heightened mobility. At the lowest point, there's a foggy swamp. It's not poisonous, luckily, home to these inky jellyfish creatures. And as you ascend, you start to see more of the ornate Gothic architecture that looms over the surrounding areas. It's not quite as big as Night Rain's Limveld, but there's a lot to explore. Part of the reason the
Okay.
Duskbloods and other From Software games managed to sidestep a
Damn,
lot of
Linvale,
obvious
y'all.
tropes is how Miyazaki uses
By the
his
way, just to let people know in this video, Elden Ring is literally the first. No, I lied. Sekiro was the first Souls game that I played, but I didn't finish it because my computer couldn't handle it. And Elden Ring is definitely my favorite game. That's the second Souls game that I played. So I played 2 Souls games, and
inspirations.
Elden Ring is my favorite
Quote,
game.
from a personal standpoint, whenever I see something very interesting that I'd like to reference, it never really stops at that point. There's always things I look at and think, wouldn't it be cool if it was like this? It changes shape in my mind into a constant flow of new ideas coming together and coming apart. Even without intentionally trying to make it original, it just becomes original because of all the other things I want to do.
Did they always
with
do
that
this?
idea.
Put the subtitles here. It's different, I feel
Vampires
like,
and
for
Gothic
GameSpot.
castles are well-trodden ground.
I haven't
at
watched
this
them in a
point,
while.
but it takes just a few minutes of playing the Duskbloods to see all the different directions Miyazaki and the team
trying to
have
highlight key
taken this
points.
familiar concept. Candidly, the Duskbloods is not the From Software game I wanted. Coming off of Elden Ring Night Rain, I hoped the team would return to its single-player roots, but it's hard not to admire what From Software is doing. Taken as a whole, I've never played anything quite like the Duskbloods. It borrows ideas from PvPvE games and previous From Software titles, but it's impossible to pin down. It's not built on any pre-existing franchise. There is a lot going on in any given match, and there appear to be more tutorials in the Duskbloods than any From Software RPG before.
Damn, so that's how that happens.
Not so gentle learning curve might throw some folks
so you can make
off.
them your,
the abundance of tutorials certainly
when you buy
threw
people,
me
you can
off,
make them
but once I
your
settled
ally.
into a rhythm and started
Or
piecing
enemies.
together its many mechanics, it became harder and harder to put down. The randomized variables within the map ensured that I couldn't rely on one specific strategy. The differences between Bloodsworn forced me to consider how certain matchups could play
I wonder
out.
how biting
And the
people,
final
like,
showdown had
biting,
my
like,
heart racing
other
every
players
single
work.
time. This
they
is
just
all
become your
steeped
ally
in
and they
a
can't hit
moody
you?
art direction that seemingly breaks
That gotta
common
be kinda
vampire
crazy.
tropes at every turn. With more maps, more Bloodsworn, and more lore to pour over, I could see myself spending dozens of hours exploring this world. After my preview wrapped, I found myself thinking about the perfect From Software game. I dreamed up a game that would have Bloodborne's gothic aesthetic, Sekiro's white-knuckle boss fights, Elden Ring's expansive gameplay options, and Dark Souls' layered world design. A multiplayer component like the Duskbloods never even crossed my mind. But the more I got to thinking about this imaginary game, the more I realized that I don't actually want that. Distilling all those experiences down to one specific thing in order to Frankenstein them together shaves off so much of what made those experiences special. Perhaps the Duskbloods isn't the From Software game I was hoping for when I first sat down with it, but that's what makes it so exciting. Despite Miyazaki and the team's extraordinary pedigree, they never seem satisfied or interested in resting on their laurels. I didn't think I'd like Elden Ring Night Rain or Sekiro either, but I ate my words on both accounts and sunk 200 hours into each. The Duskbloods represents From Software's penchant to upend expectations and chart new territory. Regardless of the risks,
good things I'm hearing.
it always seems willing to push its design and in turn its players in new directions. After all, that willingness to take risks is how Demon's Souls reinvented the action RPG genre. I don't anticipate the Duskbloods doing the same for PvPvE games, but I think that desire to chase new ideas and experiment with off-the-wall mechanics is what I truly want out of a From Software game.
Fire. Hey. W's. More to check out though. We got Vatevidia. Still don't know how to pronounce that. Should I check out IGN? I feel like IGN is gonna be pretty much the same as GameSpot, to be honest. Gameplay explained. Maybe I'll watch a little bit of this and then. Is it the same thing or?
After spending 8 hours with the Duskbloods technical test, I finally understand what this game is. So let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
The Duskbloods has been labeled as a PvPvE game, and that's not entirely wrong. You and 7 other Bloodsworn explore a map crawling with enemies. Killing these enemies, not necessarily other players, and completing objectives awards you with virtue. The players with the least amount of virtue are culled over a series of rounds until 3 remain. The final 3 are then transported to an arena where they duke it out for first blood, a mysterious substance that the Bloodsworn are hunting down. Matches last roughly 30 minutes and are split into 4 phases. Bloodsworn must choose how to spend their limited time.
What does that mean? Matches
and are split into 4.
What? What does that mean? Is it the whole thing 40 minutes or each phase is 40 minutes? What does that mean?
Phases. Bloodsworn must choose how to spend their limited time.
Hold on, let me hear them again.
Matches last roughly 30 minutes and are split into 4 phases.
Okay, they are split into 4.
Bloodsworn must
Okay,
choose how to spend
it's
their
40
limited
minutes. Okay.
time. They can kill basic enemies to level up, hunt down bosses, track down objects and items that award virtue, and so on. The key is to be efficient with your time. As you explore the map, you might run into other players. You can
almost
duke
3
it out,
hours,
but in most cases, fighting other Bloodsworn won't net you any virtue. There are exceptions to this, but typically fighting another player just wastes precious time. Alternatively, you could forge an alliance with them, which will prevent you and your new friend from accidentally hitting each other.
I might play her and Albert.
If both make it to the final round.
It is look cool.
At the end
The other
of
ones
phase
just
2
look
and 3,
stupid,
ritual
like this guy
sites
right here.
appear on the map. Inside these zones, players
that
will
nigga
find
got no type of
stationary
drip.
columns of
If
light
she got
that can
drip,
be claimed.
and Albert
Holding
got
onto these
some type of
pillars
drip.
nets you a good amount of virtue. These segments
Yeah,
almost
him
play
right
out
here.
like a game of King of the Hill. Multiple Bloodsworn converge on a ritual site and battle it out for control. However, holding onto these ritual sites isn't the only way to earn virtue. Killing other players within these zones also rewards you with points.
I wonder what weapons they
This
got in
allows
this.
players to take a more offensive or defensive approach in the final few minutes of phase 2.
Now, how is he
and
gonna
3.
bite
However,
people?
you don't have to go to the
How
ritual
is that
site. You
iron
can
nigga
chase
biting
other
people?
objectives, but you'll
Come on
likely
now.
fall behind the pack if you do. At the end of phase
Come
2
on now.
and 3, 2 Bloodsworn
Let's
and
be
3
honest.
Bloodsworn are culled respectively. The final 3 players are warped to an arena to throw down. Fundamentally, the Duskbloods plays like Elden Ring or Bloodborne. You have a light and heavy attack, a block and a roll, and a ranged weapon. However, the Bloodsworn are a lot more mobile. They can jump incredibly high and dash midair to cover more ground. Each character has a unique melee and ranged weapon and 2 skills tied to a cooldown.
Okay.
In the technical test, players will be able to choose from 6 different characters.
I wonder how
Albert,
much this would
Train
cost.
Lon, Bloodhand Jan, Sniper Layla, Senator Samir Patris, and Zork. Each Bloodsworn fits into a From Software character archetype we've come to expect. There's an added wrinkle to matches though. Inspired by tabletop RPGs, the Duskblood introduces a customization mechanic called sigils. These items alter a Bloodsworn's backstory and encourage role-playing within a match by giving your character specific objectives. Rival Bloodsworn are assigned passive sigils based on your sigil and unknowingly play a role in your quest. For example, one sigil marks another player as your sworn enemy, and hunting them down will earn you extra virtue. Another one tasks you with tracking down an old friend and forming an alliance with them. One particularly interesting sigil has you find your lost love, who also happens to be another player, and propose to them. These sigils get more complicated
Daylen and
as you
Mark.
progress, but they are
RDC
relatively
World.
simple for the purposes of the technical
That's gonna be
test.
them.
In between matches, you return to a hub area called the House of Night,
Daylen
where you
gonna be
can
on some sus
customize your
shit.
Bloodsworn, wail on a training dummy, and presumably talk to other characters. Though most of these areas within the House of Night are locked down for the technical test.
Pretty cool stuff.
That's an overview on how a typical match plays out in the Duskbloods. Check out our in-depth preview or interview with game director Hidetaka Miyazaki if you'd like to learn more about From Software's Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive.
Alright, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yo, are there actually 5 viewers in my chat? Am I looking at that right? Hey. I ain't playing the game though. I don't got the game, but you know, if people are in my chat, you know, welcome. If you gotta leave, you know, it is what it is. But hey, man, I'm just looking at some Duskbloods and seeing what they got. seeing what fun they got, you know. Yeah, I'm gonna watch him too. Let's see it. Let's see some more stuff.
Welcome to Lowenro City, one of the maps we were able to explore in our preview of the Duskbloods. As you can see, it's very easy to move around this city thanks to the new jumps every character has. In combat, every character is also capable of this. A roar that, if properly timed, allows you to stagger enemies and feast on them, converting them to your side for a time. The character currently being played is named Albert. Like many characters, he has a melee weapon in his right hand and a ranged one in his left.
Okay.
He also has a suite of passives and abilities, but there's more I need to talk about than just the combat. I need to explain what kind of game this is and what we're fighting for right now. To that end, I'm going to try and walk you through
you might
what
say
a
the same
typical
thing
match looks like
that the
from
other
start to finish. So let's leave
that GameSpot
Lowenro
said
City and go back to the Duskbloods hub area. It's called the House of Night.
Okay.
Here, in this demo at least, you can select from one of 6 Bloodsworn, browse this ever-growing archive of information, and practice all of your character skills against a target dummy in the courtyard. Then, once you're ready, you can either opt into a ranked or casual match.
So there is ranked. Yo, that's crazy. I'm pretty sure RDC World was saying, yo, they should add ranked in this. And I was like, maybe they should. Yo, they added ranked. This is a fighting game, y'all. It's a fighting game for real.
We're fighting for right now.
No, something I was saying from before. I think I was saying like not Elder Ring. Souls characters could be like Tekken characters. You know, I think it would be pretty cool if like somebody like Malekith was in Tekken 8 or something. I think it could work. You know.
And I'm going to try and walk you through.
They got some fighting game type shit.
Like from start to finish.
Slash shooting game shit.
Lowenro City.
There are guns.
And go back to the Duskbloods hub area.
It's
called the House of Night.
Oh, I want that
from
too far.
Then, once your character skills against a target dummy in the courtyard. Then, once you're ready, you can either opt into a ranked or casual match. Here's how it works. Each match features 8 players playing in 3 rounds, but only 3 can make it to the final battle. At the end of the first round, players can all get stronger without to the final battle. Which is 8 players or casual match. Here's how it works. Each match features 8 players playing in 3 rounds, but only 3 can make it to the final battle. At the end of the first round, players can all get stronger without punishment. But at the end of the second round, the 2 players with the lowest amount of what are called virtue points are culled and removed from the game. And then at the end, virtue points are culled and removed from the game.
Oh, it is some JJK type stuff.
At the end of the third
the
round,
games.
the 3 lowest scoring players are again culled, leaving only 3 to do battle in the final round, where their health totals are
I didn't hear that.
the 3 lowest and removed from the game. And then at the end of the third round, the 3 lowest scoring players are again culled, leaving only 3 to do battle in the final round, where their health totals are boosted by the amount of virtue points they have. How do you get virtue points, you ask? Well, let's pretend we're just starting a game, and it will become clear. You start matchmaking by touching the Wheel of Blood in the House of Dusk.
A lot of blood.
Once the system has put 8 of you together, you are all shown
it's my blood!
divided into 4 quadrants. You all have to choose which quadrant you'd like to spawn into for this round. Now, you can't choose exactly
some Apex Legends type stuff.
Spawn.
Loki, whatever games have that, where you like spawn and then maybe you meet somebody like, damn bro, this guy's gonna take my loot and kill me type shit. I think that's only Apex Legends. I think. I don't know.
For example, if I chose this top quadrant aiming for the city streets, I might end up spawning here, closer to the cave. That's what happens to Layla, who has
Why is
spawned
that his
just
name?
outside the city streets. This works out perfectly for
Yeah,
her.
I'm only playing
because do you
Albert
see
and
those golden spires down in the streets?
the female character.
Those are landmarks you absolutely want to aim for early in the game.
Okay. I wonder how
So
shooting
these
works.
golden spires, these are where you pull allies from.
Here, sister of the Briar,
Okay.
my life is yours to command.
These are like summoned spirits in Elden Ring, except
Yeah.
these are fully fledged characters with voice lines and maybe even storylines to go down as well.
Okay.
There are 8 allies to be found in this demo, and the spirit you get is somewhat randomly generated depending on the symbol of the golden spire you pulled them from. To level your allies, you have to find these sites marked on the map. But beware, because if you switch allies, the old one and their levels will be lost, so
Okay.
taking the time to find the ally you like
Pretty interesting.
can be a waste of time, and in a game like this, time is everything. Luckily, to save you time, you can teleport basically anywhere on the map
Oh, let me see if the
instantly,
audio is good.
as long as you're out of combat. I love this system. I love how this opens up the map in the Duskbloods, because it makes your routing options so much more interesting when you could be anywhere on the map at a moment's notice. This player, for example, has found their way to the sewer.
Yeah, I'm seeing like
If you recall, there was a purple
like
icon.
repeating gameplay from other channels. I'm a little skeptical on like what people could show and what they can't show. They did say you can't show, bro.
next to the sewer on the map, which marks that a
But
type
he has
of
shown, like,
virtue called
a little bit of
flame
different
virtue
stuff.
can be found here. You can actually see it off to the left ahead of us there. This is a corpse sitting in a chair with a purple aura, and it's one of many in this area, so this area is worth coming to, especially in the early stages of the game, because in my experience it would ensure that you would make it through the first few rounds without being culled. Claiming these is easy, you don't have to kill any bosses, and notably, claiming them denies other players from claiming them as well. It's so
Interesting.
important to play efficiently in
Wait,
this
hold on.
game.
Really?
Take Zor
Hold on. What does these virtues do again? They give you more health.
without being
Right.
culled. Claiming these, especially in the early stages of the game, because in my experience it would ensure that you would make it through the first few rounds without being culled. Claiming these is easy, you don't have to kill any bosses, and notably, claiming them denies other players from claiming
So
them
you could
as
just
well.
go there. So
It's
that's
so
gonna be like the
important
hotspot
to play
probably,
efficiently
where a bunch
in
of
this
people are
game.
just gonna be running
Take Zork
to get
here,
virtue.
for example. Not only does he use one of his abilities to cover ground and attack, but mid-combat he takes a break to upgrade his weapon with the fire affinity.
Okay.
There are 4 different weapon upgrades you can find. There's iron, poison, lightning, but Zork's is fire, which means his weapon now inflicts burning if he hits enemies enough.
Burning.
Speaking of upgrades, here's the Senator, who was my favorite character in the demo. He's hunting a blood sac
It was a
right
demo?
now, so
Oh,
that he
alright, I
can
guess maybe that's
upgrade
demo.
one of his 2 abilities.
I thought maybe
in
he was
some
talking
way.
about something else.
These abilities are
before the beta,
Bloodstake and Saurian
I
form,
think.
which you'll see later on. Upgrades to abilities can also be found in marked sections of the map.
With my character right here,
In this courtyard below, for
Probably.
example, you can see a red upgrade orb
depending if
behind
she's
these
fun or not.
townsfolk. And thanks to Chang's passive ability, she can turn multiple enemies to her side at once. Chang's L2 throws rings
Okay.
at opponents
Interesting.
swiftly and
At once.
consistently, which
I
makes
think
her
Alba
a
could just
huge
do
threat at
one at a
mid-range,
time.
and especially when she's in the air. With this, I've shown you just about everything you could hope to achieve in one round, so let's pretend that round 1 is ending and round 2 begins now. At the start of some rounds, a sort of tarot card will be revealed, informing you of some world-altering event currently taking place.
Okay.
In this round, a Lodomerian Zeppelin will be prowling the skies, and every character will have a transmission box in their inventory with which they can call upon a sea of flame wherever they want.
Really? Kill streaks? We got kill streaks in this game?
There
Call
were
of
5
Duty!
events I experienced in this demo.
Damn.
Sometimes a magnetic storm would strike, forcing players to swap places with each other. Sometimes
This game got
stars
everything.
would fall from the
A
sky,
mix of everything,
encouraging
bro.
players to claim and hold
A little
on to
bit of
them
this, a little
until
bit of
the end
that.
of the round. Sometimes you'd be rewarded for ringing the bell at the top of the clock tower. And I even had one event where bloodsack enemies would spawn all over the place, allowing us to fully upgrade our abilities. These were all so fun to interact with, and they would really change how you moved around the map. In round 2, my character would also start feeling much more powerful, so I would prioritize taking on certain bosses. In the Duskbloods, these are called trespassers, and they're marked by purple skulls on your map.
Okay.
Some are tougher than others, but luckily you don't always need to take them down on your own.
Okay, what does that mean? Take it out with other players?
If another player is nearby, they will receive a call for help.
So what's the
And if
benefit
they
of helping
accept,
somebody?
They will teleport to your fight as a phantom, returned to where they were if they die, or if they manage to defeat the boss.
Okay. I wonder how that works. So
Look
if
at
if you're a phantom and you lose, do you like gain anything, or I mean lose anything, and then if you win you gain something? I don't know.
This Zork
What's the
player,
benefit of
so
helping somebody
they have
else?
both of their abilities unlocked, the missile barrage being one of them. That means this player has spent more time killing enemies and leveling up, and they might not have as
Damn,
much
she got
virtue as a
Skywalker.
result. However, the
Sanji.
extra power they get from leveling up might actually help him get more virtue if that extra power translates into killing difficult bosses more easily. That's what felt beautifully designed.
Everybody
about
got
this game.
Skywalk.
Everything you do seems to
I guess they
lead
were
to
flying
virtue
in the
one way or another.
trailer.
At the end of the round, players who killed the most enemies or collected the most items can even receive commendations, which is the third way I've described of getting
Yo,
virtues.
Loki, this enemy right here looks like I think it's called Zertree from Pokemon. Oh, I see somebody in chat. Yo, what's up, Dave? Is this game an L or not? I don't know. Hey man, and look, a lot of people are saying that this game is good. I'm not playing it right now. Alright. But a lot of people are saying good stuff about this game, you know. And yeah, I don't got a Nintendo Switch 2 to play this. So, you know, I'm just looking, seeing what they got, seeing what people are
This
saying.
rewards players who are single-minded in their goals at the expense of all else. Basically, no matter what you do,
Will playing this game improve my love life? Or your love life? I don't know. I don't know, Dave. It depends. If the girl you're looking for playing this game, who knows? If so, then maybe y'all should play together.
even if you don't know what you're doing,
I
it
don't know,
feels like you
man.
do get virtue if you play well, and I liked that. Of course, you can still make bad routing
Damn.
decisions. There was
Actually
nothing
singing.
worse than when you would bite off more than you could chew, challenging a difficult boss before you were strong enough, or counting on another player coming to help you, only for you to have to fight it alone. It's not just the threat of dying and losing virtue that would be scary, it's also the fear of a fight going on too long, to where your time might have been better spent doing something else.
I wonder how
Not that
much
that's a
time you have for
problem
each
this
phase.
Senator player. They finish off this boss with blood stake, and they get to claim
Blood stake?
a power of blood
Yummy.
from it. These are passives that allow you to further customize your character a little bit mid-match. It's around this time.
Let me know in the
that round
comments down below. How y'all like y'all steak? I get my shit well done. I don't like too much blood in my shit. I get my shit well done, and I cook it right. Alright? I cook it
Round
right,
2
y'all.
would be ending, and now
They need that
things
medium stuff,
really start heating
With
up.
that rare stuff.
The players with the 2 lowest virtue counts
No
are
cap.
culled, and the 6 remaining players move into round 3. In the top right this whole time,
Yeah, I'm still
there
recording.
has been a clock, which helps to give you an idea of how much time is left in a round.
Alright.
But that's
Clock?
not all
Wait, hold
it
on. Let me
shows,
go back. I missed something.
because really start heating up. The players with the 2 lowest virtue... Now, things really start heating up. The players with the 2 lowest virtue counts are culled, and the 6 remaining players move into round 3. In the top right this whole time, there has been a clock, which helps to give you an idea of how much time is left in a round. But that's not all it shows, because in round 3, a ritual site will be established. This is an event that's marked not just on the clock, but also on the map, encouraging players to teleport over and lose themselves in the chaos as you all meet in the same place. The first thing you want to do at a ritual site, ideally, is to locate either the gold stones or the red stones. This player has gone straight for the red stones, which, when held, increases the amount of virtue they receive for killing another player at the ritual site. This is called sword virtue, the 4th type of virtue I've explained so far, and the most fun to collect, in my opinion.
Honestly, bro, if I had this game, I'll be the best player in this. No cap. I'll be the best player. Hey, man. I'm really that nigga when it comes to these Souls games.
Now that this player is victorious, they approach this golden cross. This is a place that you can pledge to for even more virtue, and if you're sneaky enough, you don't even have to fight at all to claim it. I like how you have options. Are you going to try and steal the pledges unnoticed, or are you going to try and take out all the other players so that you can claim them? Or
you know what I'm doing right here? Each time I'm fighting somebody, if I'm fighting an enemy, I'm gonna just randomly shoot something at this area just in case, because you never know. How much invisibility does she have though? Can you like see a little bit of her, or like is it like full invincibility to like other players? You know, I wonder. But yo, as I'm fighting somebody, I'm gonna just shoot randomly at this area right here. You know, just in case.
Take out all
cover
the other
all my
players
bases
so that you can claim them. Or are you going to avoid the ritual sites completely and take advantage of the rest of the map? I'll let you enjoy this fight, without commentary though, as these 6 players battle desperately to try and avoid being culled.
I hope the music is good too. Yeah, I might have to play Albert and the chick. They might be the ones. The other ones just look ugly and stupid. Damn, one shot? Is he like out right now? Has he been cold? Has he been cold? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I guess if you don't reach the... Okay, they're showing if you don't reach enough virtue, I guess, then you don't make it to the next round. Okay. So you don't have to kill to, you know, call over people. Or, you know, move on to the next round.
It's hard to explain just how fun this experience is. The game starts out interesting and tense with little skirmishes with other players, but then it builds up to this ritual fight where you all face off against each other, and then culminates in this Moonblood Bestowal, the final fight where 3 players face off against each other.
The moon tears will be mine. Our turn has come.
These fights were so hype. Everyone is fully powered up with unique abilities,
Hey,
summons,
it looks
and
like it
even
might be
health
hyped.
based on how much virtue they accrued.
Hopefully it is.
With 3 players
Hopefully
in
this
the arena,
is,
there's
like,
enough
really
chaos
good.
that anything can happen, even
And
to
hopefully
more
there's more.
experienced PvP
Hopefully there's more variety, because it looks like you have like a certain amount of weapons for each character, and I hope you get more weapons. You know, a more expansive map. You know, and stuff like that. And I hope they add more enemies and stuff. I wonder how they're gonna
Each
do this.
player
Though.
also has 2 lives, which helps to mitigate a bit
yeah.
of the frustration
I still like
you
the
can feel when you're third-partied by someone
one-on-one
else's powerful
type of stuff.
ability. The dinosaur definitely gave
that
me more
Miyazaki
wins than I
be
deserved.
making. Like Elder Ring, Sekiro. You know, I mean single player. You know. Okay, we're seeing more stuff. Oh yeah, bro. If I had this game, I'm cooking people, bro. No cap, I'm cooking. Telling you, this is just like a fighting game. That's what I was saying. They could add a Souls player, a Souls character in Elden Ring. Gotta get the right
This
ones
is an
too.
exciting end to what is an extremely well-paced game, in my opinion.
Gotta get the right ones.
Exciting end. This is an exciting end to what is an extremely well-paced game, in my opinion. The victor is then rewarded with this cutscene, and that's it.
What about
For the
that
demo,
that big rat
There's more
that
to
we
this
saw?
game that we haven't yet seen. In the full game, for example, Grail battles aren't the only final round you can get. We've been told that there will be ways for you to customize your character to be more likely to encounter a co-op boss battle, among other things, for the final encounters, rather than the PvP round you just saw. In the full game, there's also going to be more potential for story and character progression back at the House of Night, between dusk battles. So even if you don't place first, you're still going to feel like you're getting stronger every time you play, and like you're progressing the story as well. I'm intrigued to think how much they might develop the story in between battles. In the full game, there's also going to be more than 10 characters to choose from, and in the hub world, supposedly you're able to customize them more as well.
That's cool.
There's also going to be 3 maps that ship with the final game, apparently, and there's also a final type of virtue that I didn't really get to show off, and it's one that I don't think anyone at the event really experimented much with. It's virtue through achieving your sigil goals. Sigils equipped before a match give you specific goals to try and achieve in the match. Take Jan here, for instance, who has the Sigil of the Eye of Moralis equipped. This makes him a hunter in this game, and the sigil will pair you with a heretic to try and take out during the game. Another thing I forgot to mention is the alliance system. You can queue up with another person you know at the start of the game and play through the whole game that way, if you set your parameters correctly. Or you can actually ally with other people mid-game who you don't know as well. You can either do this by emoting at them basically when you meet them in-game, or after you've encountered another player, you can open a menu that will allow you to propose alliances to people that you've met. Under these alliances, all virtue
I
is
wonder how
shared
big of an
between
alliance you can make.
and you're in it till the end. Well, then you kill each other.
Should it be like a
I just wanna
3v3
say
type
I
of
feel
thing?
so privileged to have been able to experience the Duskbloods and
Or
to
can you
share
only
it
alliance
you
with
all.
one
I'd like to
person?
give special thanks to everyone at Nintendo and From Software who helped to organize this event. It went really smoothly, and it was an amazing experience being able to get a few wins with like the whole
So yeah, they went to an
cheering behind
event.
you. I won't soon forget it. So Look forward to more content on the Duskbloods when it releases. The game would really benefit from a beginner to more guide, so I'm going to work on that because there were Nintendo reps and From Software reps at the event who did a really good job explaining everything, and I think everyone watching would benefit from that kind of explanation as well. If you have any questions about the game or how I felt about it, leave them in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer them all, because this video really wasn't long enough to get all of my thoughts and knowledge out there. Thank you for watching though, and I'll see you in the next one.
Alright. W video, y'all. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna watch IGN.
From Software isn't new to multiplayer. Invasions have been a staple in the Souls games, and we just came off of Elden Ring.
Alright. Well, hey, Duskbloods, you know, it looks looking pretty cool. You know, I hope it's really good. A lot of people are saying good things about this game. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. But yo, that's it for this video, y'all. Alright, W stuff from them. I'll see if I post this video or not. It's gonna be, you know, obviously it's a chill reaction. But anyways though, hey, thanks for watching, y'all. Y'all can follow all my socials at Daylen Mayers, you know. So anyways, thanks for watching, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed. If y'all did, make sure y'all leave a like on this video, subscribe for more content, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.